Hey there, Ray Downbenko here with another edition of Keg River TV. Today's session is going to take us back to junior high school science. And no, we're not going to go back to dissecting earthworms or cutting up frogs. We're going to talk a little bit more about plant science. We're going to talk about photosynthesis. We're going to talk about the important role that sulfur plays in a process that's central to life on Earth as we know it. So when we talk about photosynthesis, if you remember correctly, it's a process that converts light energy from the sun into chemical energy to fuel essential activities within the plant. Plants absorb sunlight energy mainly through leaves, all through stems, and they synthesize food, and we're talking about glucose, and this synthesis occurs from the sunlight energy in addition to carbon dioxide drawn from the atmosphere and water from the environment. Not only does this process help the plant generate the energy it needs to grow, it produces the oxygen that you and I need to live and breathe on this planet. Without plants, we're not going to have life as we know it. So for photosynthesis to occur, plants need basically three things: sunlight and sunlight energy, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and water from the environment. The sunlight is absorbed through the leaves, and this is possible thanks to chlorophyll, and this is where the sulfur side comes in. Chlorophyll is a molecule with a pigment color that makes the leaves green. Sulfur is essential for producing a number of enzymes and activities that lead up to the production of chlorophyll. So without sulfur, we do not have chlorophyll production. And it's basically why when we say that plants are deficient in sulfur, we often identify them by yellowing. Lack of green color we call chlorosis. So plants are yellow, they're definitely lacking that pigment, which is green, which is chlorophyll. And the absence of chlorophyll impairs the plant's ability to absorb sunlight and go through its normal growth processes. So to do this, plants require chlorophyll, and they require sulfur to produce that chlorophyll. And that's again why we see consistent green pigment in healthy leaves, and unhealthy plants lacking in sulfur, we tend to see that yellowish color. So while today's lesson was on the role of sulfur in photosynthesis, the real takeaway is that you need to keep an eye out for signs of sulfur deficiency. It pays to regularly scout your crops and look for any warning signs of crop diseases or nutrient deficiencies. In particular, if you see yellowing leaves, especially on the upper part of the leaf, because sulfur is not mobile on the plant, it may point to insufficient sulfur in your fertility program. If you notice this, you should certainly look into a rescue treatment, but you may also want to consider in the future an annual elemental sulfur program to build sulfur levels in your soils for future use. Thanks again for your time. I'm Ray, you've been a great class, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.